And we're back at Camp Crystal Lake here at Return of the Disc for part 3 of our Friday the 13th series. Joining me again is Paul from Twin Flicks. Thank you for being here.
That's me. Thanks
Let me
for
start.
making me do these.
Yeah. This one was a grind. This one I struggled with. I fell asleep halfway through the first time. So
well, I texted you last night saying I fell asleep through it too.
So
I went ahead and finished watching it before we did this video.
I did too this morning. All right, I'm going to give you guys, as always, my out of context rundown by a first time virgin to Friday the 13th, and then I'll pass it to Paul for his rundown. All right. Groovy intro music in 3D, 2 goldfish, 1 bunny, 3 dead bunnies, butcher's knife to the chest, 1 stoner van, a blue yo-yo, old man with an eyeball, I have warned thee, hung by a rake, stabbed in the stomach, friend zone, okay, fruit juggling contest. I call this guy Friend Zone with the hockey mask.
Oh, what's funny, real quick, what's funny is that out of all the Friday the 13th movies, I have no idea who these people's names are except for him. I always remember it's Shelley.
Because
I don't know why. Him, I remember.
They make it clear later. Yeah, that's Shelley. One Velcro wallet, Spirit of the Eyeball, a Psycho reference, Fangoria magazine, Jason hanging, axe to the head, another canoe trip, and the Lady of the Lake. All right, take it away, Paul.
All right, so my totals are okay. Friday 13th Part 3. We have 1 extra dead body or 2 extra dead bodies. We have 13 dead bodies this time. 13. Friday 13th Part 3.
Yeah.
Gotta have 13 bodies. Pitchfork to the stomach, meat cleaver to the chest, knitting needle through the noggin, spear gun to the eye, cut. Wait, is this right? I put cut in half lengthways, starting from the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, because I think he stands over him, right? And
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Knife to the neck, heads roll, eyes pop out of their eye socket. 80s movie style gang members that cause havoc and siphon gas just to show that they're badasses and to get even. We have rubbers and wallets and more gratuitous POV shots, random shots solely for the only purpose of 3D, such as the popcorn, such as the yo-yo, such as the fruit juggling, such as the beginning where he puts the pole to the camera, and many others. So that's my grand totals.
And we have a brand new aspect ratio.
Oh, that's true. 2:3:5, right?
Yeah, I did not enjoy that.
They shouldn't have done that with the 3D. 3D should not be a 2:3:5 ratio.
I'm assuming they wanted it to seem like the stuff was popping out of the lines, the black lines. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one I struggled with. It was like, especially the first, like, I don't know, quite like 3/4 of the film. I was just like, this is hard to get through, and these characters are worse than the second one. Like, and there's like really no hotties in this one. I was like, and there's a guy that looks like me with a hockey mask and a spear gun. The friend zone guy. I was like, I relate to you, man. I've been that guy. I've been that kid. But I think it's honestly probably required more so than part 2 to watch because of the origin of the hockey mask.
Yeah. That's really the most memorable thing that people remember of part 3 is the hockey mask. You ask anybody about part 3, they're like, oh yeah, the hockey mask. Because really the same exact thing happens here as it happens in Friday the 13th Part 1, Part 2, where a bunch of teenagers go into the woods and they never come out, except for maybe one. Except this time, excuse me, as I said, the body count rises, and we have stereophonic 3D.
Now, were you able to watch it in 3D ever? Have you ever
No.
watched it in 3D?
No.
Okay.
No, I know that I believe when they released the DVD, I believe they had, and I had before they remastered these ones, they had an old one that they had 3D glasses on that came with it, and I tried it. Nothing happened. There was nothing there because
it was those blue and red ones, right?
Yeah. So you don't have the screen. Plus that, I think you were able to do it more so on a CRT TV. Than you were on. You can't really do it on a modern TV. But yeah, I always say symphonic. Yeah, stereo 3D is where they decided to go ahead and do it with this one. I guess 3D was huge at the time because you had Jaws 3D.
Okay, I was going to ask you that if that was the big thing.
Yeah, I think every 20, 30 years, 3D is a boom again.
It seems like it, right? Yeah, because they had the 3D TV craze for a while there.
Yeah, I guess we had, because 3D really went away in the mid 60s, I think, early 60s, and then it didn't come up again until like 82, 83, and then it didn't come up again until 2009 with Avatar. So yeah, so now I'm wondering what the next one's going to be in 20, 30 years. But
I'm not sure.
Yeah, anyways, Shelly. Look,
what a name!
I love it too because when he's in the gas station and she's like, Shelly, give me some money, and he just turns around, he's blatantly looking at porn.
Oh yeah. Did he have the Fangoria too later?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He was like a magazine guy, so I related to him. I related to that guy.
Looking at porn in gas stations.
But I knew he was. You know it. I knew he was gonna die like fairly soon. I'm glad he was the one to give him the mask.
What's funny is I think today, with how today audiences are, they would have done a red herring where you think he died, and in the ending he comes back and lives, kind of like what they did with Paul. I think they would have done it if they made it today. So I'm glad they didn't make it today.
Right.
But yeah, the porn music for the main titles.
Yeah, the groovy.
And it's sprinkled throughout the film too. So it's kind of like, not only did they change the aspect ratio, they did 3D, but they also had like the 70s porn music kind of throughout the movie.
And Steve Miner is back directing.
Yeah. I think the beginning is hilarious though, with the two trailer trash couple.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're running that store in the middle of nowhere, and their house is attached to the store. And I'm watching these guys. I'm just like, you deserve to die. And it's so weird too. That this cut always, I don't know what the word is, but this cut always rubs. I don't know what the word is, but anyways, it's a really weird cut because I think he's outside. And all of a sudden, there's a hard cut to inside the bathroom, and you see his feet.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was like, it seemed really weird. Didn't match up.
Yeah. And then I'm hoping that he gets killed on the toilet, but he's not. And
I know, I was thinking that too. I was like, I don't know if I'm just being too creative or wanting too much from these films, but I hope they get better as it goes on, like kill wise, more creative, because
they do. I won't spoil the kill for you. I'll just say I think it's part 7 where they have this awesome kill. I think it's in a van or in an outhouse. Awesome kill.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, I don't know if they're ever gonna go there and like try to be more creative with these kills. There was more blood in this one.
Yeah.
At the end.
And I think that was for the 3D as well.
Yeah.
Because I know I never saw this in theater. I was too young. But I've talked to people that saw it in theater, and they were saying that with the 3D, like when he puts a needle through the head, you actually saw it go to the head in the 3D. So like you actually saw penetration of the needle going to the head. And so I think that's why they had more gore, was for the 3D aspect. But do you think they overused the 3D shots?
Yeah.
Because obviously specifically made for 3D.
Yeah. It was on the nose too much.
Yeah.
They should have incorporated it more into the story, but I guess like we talked about, there's not much script for these.
Yeah, they needed a new gimmick. They needed to do the newest gimmick and bring young people back in. Hey, come here! You can see someone's head being thrown, eyeball being popped out at you.
Let's see. I didn't really have a favorite kill in this one. Did you have
really
one?
Isn't one.
Yeah.
I mean, I really can't think of one that really stands out to me. The stoner couple though, with a guy that looks like Mark Maron.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Who does he look like? Okay, it is Mark Maron for sure. And then we also have like this biker gang like thing where like they feud with the campers. It was kind of stupid.
Like I said, with my totals, the 80s movie style gang members.
Yeah,
they're trying to wreak havoc, and they do a really bad job at it.
Yeah,
they're not exactly scary.
Well, let's talk about the ending, because okay, now I'm thinking these visions and these because Mother jumps out this time like little Jason did in the first one on a canoe, which is a canoe again, and takes her under. I don't know what to think. I mean, I maybe they'll go into it in part 4. Probably not, but
I don't think they do. I think they kind of dismiss it.
I guess these are just visions that she's so traumatized at the end. She's going nuts. Unfortunately, I feel like that's where the movie began. Like they should have started with that at that point. Have her be like nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it seemed like these final girls are having these visions, throughout the first 3 here that aren't real.
I think that it's supposed to. I think they were trying to do 2 things. Trying to make you think, did what just happened actually happen? Or was it all in their head? Or has all this driven them to the brink of madness, where they're seeing all these visions and stuff that didn't really happen? But it's not done right.
No.
It fails completely. And I can't remember if they do have a recap on part 4, but I don't remember them. I think they kind of just swept that underneath the rug and just like, we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to repeat the shock of the first movie.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work as well at all.
Well, you expect it since you already saw the first one. And so it's kind of like, this one wasn't as creative. I think they spent more. I think they spent the majority of the budget, and they were focused so much on 3D. So the budget focusing so much on 3D effects and how to do it and do all these gimmicks and gags that they kind of just like, okay, let's hurry up. Let's figure out what we can do next. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? It worked in the first movie. Let's do it in the second movie. But this time we're going to have it done differently. But it just...
Another scene that I didn't like at all was when that girl's telling the story that she met Jason in the woods before and escaped.
Oh, yeah.
That whole way it was edited, it has like, the little fade in of the actions going on. It's kind of transposed over each other, and it just was lazy to me. I was like, this is lazy exposition.
I think that's the problem with the whole movie. It just felt lazy.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to what I said in part 2. It feels like they just didn't know what to do with it.
And I didn't think Miner directed as well in this one.
Yeah, he didn't.
No.
And I think there was some behind the scenes stuff going on, but I don't know, which is why he didn't come back for the 4th one. I think they offered him the 4th one and he decided not to. And which is a good thing because dang it, I forgot his first name, but Zito directed the 4th one and it is far superior over this one.
Okay. I'm excited.
If you can say that for a Friday the 13th movie.
I'm excited to watch it.
One thing I also did not like in the movie is there's so many red herrings. Like she's got her feet in the lake and it grabs arm comes out of the lake, grabs onto her, tries to pull her down, and you have all this music and everything going on, and then it just ends up being Shelley.
I just wanted you to like me. Or whatever he says, he just
yeah, that's what he says, and then she's like, you don't have to be a creep for me to like you, or whatever she says. And and so there's a lot of red herrings in this movie, more than was in part 1 and part 2. And so I didn't like that aspect either, because I guess their thought is there's so many red herrings that you don't know when something's actually going to happen.
Yeah,
but it
they
doesn't
were
work.
trying to that was the intention, but the execution was poor. I agree for sure.
Yeah. So I didn't have as many notes with this one as I did with
Neither
number 2.
did I. I do enjoy the ending, just as far as like entertainment. It doesn't make any sense, but I just thought that was the strongest part of the film. I'm glad that he found his hockey mask. When he picked that up and put it on, I was like, or showed up on the dock with it on, I was like, okay, here we go. This is the look.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the producers felt the same way.
Oh yeah.
Was there any reason that they went with the hockey mask? Is there any kind of behind the scenes?
I know they talk about it in documentary. I can't think of it on top of my head.
Okay.
I don't think they planned on having a hockey mask. I think it was just a spur on the moment type thing. If I remember correctly, I don't think they were even planning on to keep the hockey mask. And then it became iconic when the movie was released, and then it kept it. So if I remember right. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely a documentary you need to watch after we
like a happy accident then. Wow.
Yeah, that's if I remember it correctly. Yeah.
Got lucky then, because that's iconic now.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't see Jason, our work with Jason, without it. So as far as a recommendation, I honestly would say skip it. It's not needed. It doesn't reflect part 1 or part 2. I mean, it doesn't join with part 1, part 2. There's no connection there, really.
No.
And then 4, there's no from what I remember, there's no connection with 3.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say skip 3 and just go to 4, because that's when the real fun starts.
You can watch Shelly on YouTube or something. Watch the clip of getting the mask,
Or you can just come to Dan's channel and see Shelly.
Yes, I'm here. Shelly will be a guest next week. That would be awesome. I don't even know if that guy's still alive. But
he's probably not even acting anymore. I know a lot of that's funny too, because a lot of these actors that star in this movie, especially the actresses, it was one and done for them, and they didn't do anything afterwards.
Yeah.
So who knows where they are, what they're doing now. But
well, Shelly, if you're out there, holler at us in the comments.
I'm sure he's watching.
Paul, did you have anything else on part 3?
No, that's really it. There just wasn't much going on with it. I fell asleep through it.
We got through it. I know I
struggled watching it the remaining half today. And so now we're going to get into it. Part 4.
It felt so much longer than the other two too. I felt, and just
it was boring.
How long is this? Yeah,
there wasn't really much. Now, like I said in our video for part 2, I wasn't really looking forward to watching 1, 2, and 3 again, and now you know why.
Yeah,
3 is just boring. I didn't think 2 was boring, but 3 was boring, and it's like they tried to. To me, it's almost like they try to remake the first one. In a way,
for sure, especially, and then we'll have Mother come alive in the lake, like whatever. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Mom's dead.
We see her head off. It's like
that story's done over with. Like I said, they sweep it underneath the rug for the. So, yeah, I mean, now we're going to get into the meat of Friday the 13th with part 4. And I have a lot to say about 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay,
and 8.
I cannot wait. And I'm sure you guys out there can't wait. But let us know in the comments what you guys thought of part 3 of Friday the 13th. Did you guys see it in theaters when it came out in 3D? Anybody out there saw it in 3D? Let us know in the comments. Was it awesome in 3D? And join us next week we're going to get into it, Paul says, part 4. And you can follow Paul at Twinflix, and his links are in the description below. And
real quick, one thing I did like about is that there's no subtitle 1, 2, 2, and 3. With 4 is when they start doing the subtitles.
Final chapter.
Part 4, the final chapter, and we're going to get more into that in the video. So
I can't wait
for that. It's going to be a lot of fun with that one. All right, guys.
All right, peace out, guys.
We'll see you next time.